Welcome to Big Ben and Ty's Sports Cave. I am Big Ben, and that over there is Ty. We are doing another special edition of racing since the hockey podcast is pretty much going to be the last one of the season, I would assume. So I wanted to separate it for this week so that way Ty and Wade can uh, say what they want, go throughout the whole year and stuff. So stick around for that later on this afternoon. But for now, we'll talk about racing. And we will go with a few big shows, and we will first go with the Lucas Oil. It's at Eagle Raceway, 50,000 to win. Pits open at 2, grandstands at 4, hot laps and racing to follow about 6. I'm going to say what? It's going to be about $25 to get in. And yeah, bunch of good guys. Lucas Oil is starting to be one of the better touring series of the year, or of dirt track racing in general for late models. And once Ty gets back, we'll talk about that a little later. But for the moment, we also go to the World of Outlaws at Marion Center, and that's in Pennsylvania. It's 30,000 to win. And pits, it looks like, opens up at noon. Racing, grandstands open at 3. Hot laps and racing at 6:30. So
Kids 2 and under are free.
It gets 10 under are free, and it looks like it's a memorial for
2 and under.
2
That's
under.
kind of weird. Usually they say kids, 12 and under are free, but it says 6 and under are only $30, and general admission is $40. So even if you're over 6 years old, you're paying $40.
You see, I'm blind, so I can hardly see that.
No, you're good. I just,
screen.
it's. I know it's for a memorial, but damn, like $40.
I'm guessing maybe because kids above 2 can walk, so they figured if they can walk, then
I know, but still $40. For a group of 4 people, that's $160 just to get in the gate.
And that's just the gate, yeah. And it's one night. It's not like a 2-nighter.
Yeah.
So we'll go back to this one since that's going to be a good race. We'll go back to this one, the Lucas Oil. That's actually in, where did we say it was?
Nebraska. Eagle Raceway is in Nebraska, yeah.
Eagle Raceway is in Nebraska. There's a bunch of good shows there. And like I said, while you were away, I think it seems like Lucas Oil is getting to be a good premier,
Oh yeah, it's the premier tour. Yeah. Oh yeah. It's even pulling some of the guys from the World of Outlaw tour, and the reason why is because they race for a lot of money. And
right there it says 50,000 to win.
Yeah, and they don't race every single night either. World of Outlaws, they race like 5 out of 7 nights. So.
Right. So, with that said, a local touring series, Mars Race, and this one's really good. I'm, as much as I say I love the Summer Nationals, I'm really starting to like the Mars Series races because it's good races. Like we said earlier, Matt Curl pretty much owns it and runs it, so it's going to be a good series. That's 5,000 to win, 2,000 to win for the modifieds, and that's at Highland Speedway, which is in Southern Illinois. I haven't been there, but I have known a lot of people that's been to that track, and they say they actually like it a lot. Have you ever been there before?
No, I have never been to Highland. I've heard good things, but
yeah, Fager's raced there, and he says he loved it. I've seen other racers that race there and say they like it. So, if you're in Southern Illinois watching this show, tonight you got Highland Speedway.
Yeah, and also in action is the Dirt Car Pro Mods 600cc. I think it says 600cc Outlaw mini sprints and Dirt Car Factory stocks.
Nice.
It's open at 3. Drivers meeting at 5:30. Hot laps 6. General admission is $30. Box seats, so apparently they have box seats there, is $35. Students age 13 through 18 is $10. Ages 12 and under are free. Pit passes are $40. Children 12 and under are $25.
Yeah, that's a whole other ball of wax, and we'll save it for another show about prices, and we'll go into detail with that on another show. But for now, you got plenty of touring series to race, and now we'll go more locally with the Falls Cup. The exciting night is on tap with the Dirt Car Modifieds racing for $1,500 to win and $200 to start. The Dirt Car Pro Crate late models battle for a $1,000 win, top prize. Dirt Car stock cars get $750. Pro mods will get a $500 payday. But Hornets are back. For the first time since 2011, the Hornets returned for action tonight. And as you can see on there, it's $1,000 to win for the Pro Crate Lates, $750 win for Sport Compacts. Pro mods are $500. They call them Bang Bangers, but I'll still call them Hornets. $150 and $1,500 wins for basically the super modifieds, I'll call them. General admission, hey, it's only $15. So you get all that racing for $15. Kids 12 and under free with paid adult. Pit passes are $35. Kids pit passes are $15. Gates open at 2. Drivers meeting 5:30. Hot laps 5:50 and racing to follow. And also, there's no super lates this weekend at Fairbury. So if super late's your thing, go to Spoon. Speaking of Spoon,
watch that one. Or watch that
one. Or the Mars Series one.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about more if you want to go to a race.
Yeah.
Not just watch. But you are correct. With that said, Spoon River, May 16th, regular racing night. Super late models, SRS late models, modifieds, E-mods, kids modifieds, Hornets, and Crown Vics. $15 to get in, 12 and under free. Pit passes 35, kids 12 and under 20. Gates open at 3, grandstands 5. Draw ends at 5:30. Drivers meeting 5:45. Hot laps to follow. With racing to follow. With that said, Peoria Speedway is canceling tonight. Basically, from what I gather, is they're wanting to prepare the track a little bit better. So that's why they decided to cancel, because they're going to have a few big races coming up. And with that said, Spoon River is going to be letting their kids mods and their super late models come and race there. So 7 classes on Saturday at Spoon for $15. If you're going to get tired and you late nights, I would suggest not going. But if you love racing and you don't mind staying up till 2 o'clock in the morning, by all means, go. It's up to you.
It's going to be a long night down at
Long night. They are running for their normal payout for them as well. But if they do not, the SRS late models, they end up not getting enough cars to make class, they give them a couple options. The first option is that they'd be able to run with the super late models, and you would get points for the night and pay out for the position in that race. The other option would be allowed to have a refund for the driver's pit pass. It's not ideal, they say, but they hope to have a bunch of basically pro late models, basically, so to speak. What they call it, Spoon River Speedway late models.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what. I was going to look that up real quick.
So there's more information on this. While you're looking that up, I'll finish this off. A lot of people have been asking about the SRS late models, restrictor plate, and weight on car. We have not had any shows yet to determine the front end weight, but the full weight and restrictor plate information as in follow. It needs to be a 1 inch and 1/16 inch restrictor plate, and the weight has to be 2,400. And if you want to know the payouts, they're on the SpoonRiverSpeedway.com's website. And yeah, so as you can see, there's plenty of racing here this weekend, all over. Racing season starting. So, I mean, if you're not near any of these tracks, find a local track to go to and support it.
That's so the rules for the SRS late models are as follows: a 602, 604, or 525 IMCA, CUSA, or dirt car seal engine, a 6,800 RPM chip max must meet specs on factory sealed engines. All other motors will run the SRS restrictor plate. So it sounds like you can go down there with an open motor, but you got to get a restrictor plate from them.
Yeah, rent it out for the night. Yeah.
Dry sump is allowed. Wedge or stock front nose. Canister shocks allowed. Front end weight to be announced. So this was a while back, so I'm not sure what that is. It says any tire, left front, right front, or left rear. Only AR hard, Hoosier 30, 40, or 3/4 tires, right rear. Grooving and siping is allowed. All so it sounds like they just made a little extra rules for them. It sounds like they're following UMP as close as possible, but it sounds like they just added a little bit of their rules. So
it sounds like they're letting IMCA guys and UMP guys race together, and all they have to do is change a restrictor plate and maybe tires.
Yeah, I don't. I mean,
add weight.
I mean, Peoria is letting the B mods run IMCA tires now, so
yeah. So that's the information for those tracks. Anything else you want to noteworthy of tracks racing, or you want to highlight any of these tracks with something you want to talk about before we head on to the next portion?
I mean, this one right here is going to be it's going to be a good show. Too bad it's not on Flow. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of modifieds are going to show up for $1,500. I mean, they pay $1,500 every week for the modifieds. Don't get me wrong, but and I really think a lot of pro crate late models are going to show up for $1,000 to win. A lot of guys, they love Fairbury. They've also said, Fairbury brings crate late models to their weekly show. They would be there every week. So it's going to be interesting to see. And then, of course, Fairbury pays the most for street stocks, and that's why they get a whole bunch
$750. $750.
And a lot of places around here, they pay like $350, $400.
$400, yeah.
Yeah, so Fairbury pays their drivers well, and that's why they get a lot of drivers their way, because Fairbury tries to give money back to the driver, especially in today's economy. It's just hard to justify some stuff. So
with that said, we'll go into the next portion, and this is pretty much about, I want to talk about sportsmanship and our thoughts and suggestions and whatnot about this. And I will play this, and then we'll talk about it. Jared Hill in the 118 car next to Mark. So let's rewind that again to show it. Right here. Jared Hill in the 118 car next to Mark. Okay. With that said, first of all, that was uncalled for. Secondly, and again, this is my opinion. You can agree or disagree, anybody. I don't care. I understand you're mad and whatnot. But something like that's uncalled for because, as you've seen, there was 2 to 3 other people behind that car. So when he got pushed, it knocked those people over. And if he was going any faster, that car would be on top of those people that got pushed over. And a personal opinion, I don't care. It's like the Bob Gartner, however you say his last name, the G4 car. His, I get it. It was on the track, but still it was wrong. But with this being in a pit area with people around where people can't be safe, it was uncalled for. With my opinion, that guy should just be barred outright. He should just sell everything and find another hobby. But that's my opinion. And what would be your opinion on this, Ty?
Well, first of all, he'd be picking up his front teeth if he ever did that to my crew members. It was totally uncalled for. I mean, when you're in the pits, you don't try to hit somebody in the pits, try to hurt somebody. I mean, he really could have hurt somebody or killed somebody.
Right.
I did hear that he is suspended for 2 years minimum. Honestly, if I was the track, I'd tell him you're no longer welcome back at all.
Mm-hmm.
If that is a series, if I was the series owner, I would tell him you are no longer allowed to run my series until further notice. I mean, there's no need for that. I mean, yes, I've had my squabbles with other drivers. My family's had squabbles with other drivers. But at no point did we ever think, well, we're going to hit the car when they're working on it, or we're going to hit the car when it's on the jack stands and somebody's underneath it or beside it or whatever.
Right.
Not once have we ever thought about that. Now,
you might go ahead and, like, when you're racing on the track, you might give them a little love tap to kind of like get them a little
love tap, but
yeah.
Nothing like that. I gave people more than love taps. Let's just say that. But
yeah,
no.
But it was on the track, and you guys are all in safety gear, so.
And I don't set out to hurt nobody. That's the thing. Right. It's one of those deals where I'm gonna hurt you where it hurts the most, and that's your pocketbook. If you're gonna do that to my car, you may not have a car left when we leave the track. I mean, you might have a blown motor. There's tricks to do all that stuff. And there's also tricks to do it where you don't hurt the driver either. I mean, there's old school tricks that my grandfather has taught me that I can do it, and it doesn't hurt my car, and it doesn't hurt the driver. But like I said, that was really uncalled for. I mean, like I said, what if kids were around that? That kind of goes back to a story where Jason Fager had his car up on the jack stands, and Old Man Pierce came and knocked it off the jack stands. Well, Fager's crew was just underneath his car right before that happened.
Right.
So what if and it happened, I believe it happened after the races. What if there was a kid, standing in front of the car? What if there was,
or even in the car, in the cockpit, pretending to race?
Yeah, I mean, there's no need for that shit. I mean, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I do know one thing, if that would ever happen to me, if my guys are looking at my car and somebody hits my car, I don't think they really would have to worry about me getting out of my car and beating their ass.
All I'm saying is,
I think you'd have to worry about my crew. And I think you would have to worry about my wife, to be honest. I mean, my wife would go just start throwing hands.
Well, let's just put it this way. If anybody hurts the crew chief, Uncle Ben will be kicking ass and taking names.
And, but yeah, no,
just put that away.
Before I started whatever, yeah, no, she would go throw hands. I would have to worry about her more than anybody else.
She'd want to throw hands, yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, the good thing about where I race at, I mean, yes, Peoria does have its issues with fighting sometimes, but it's one of those deals where I try to stay out of that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, and going back to the video, like I said, that was totally uncalled for. There was no reason for it at all. And he, like I said, he could have seriously injured or killed somebody doing what he was doing.
Well,
And
there's 3 people behind there that got knocked over.
and you know what's funny? Probably, I want to know what position they were racing for on the track. That's what I would like to know. Because what's funny is most of the fights that happen, it's for 10th place or 9th place.
Or behind.
Yeah, or they're lapped already and they're just back there trying to do whatever. It's like you're not going to make any more money. So why get into a fight over something minimal of, oh, well, I wanted 9th place because it pays $10 more than 10th place does. Really? $10 more?
Right.
Because I've noticed that with a lot of these fights that happen is they're fighting, and they're usually the ones that are in the back.
And you can contest to this because, of course, you're the racer. After what? Most tracks, small tracks, after 5th, maybe 6th place, it's all the same through the rest of the field. What you
10th
get paid
place.
back?
Usually it's 10th.
Okay, 10th
usually
place.
It's 10th on back.
So if you're 11th place on back, don't do something like this because you're all going to get the same thing anyway.
Yeah, it's the same money. So, I mean, it just amazes me how, some people are like, well, I wanted 15th spot, so I'm going to get in a fight with this guy because I wanted 15th spot. It's like, dude, it's the same money.
It's going to be the same. It's probably going to realistically be the same points as well.
Yeah, I don't know how. Like I said, I don't know about points.
You might get an extra point or 2 for passing, but
and that's even if they have passing points.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the points are for 10th. If you finish 11th, besides 10th, it might be, I don't know, 5 points different. I don't know. I don't really look into that. Because of that. I mean, I just don't. I don't really pay attention to that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Anyway, like I said, just talk it out is all I'm saying. And if you really gotta punch the guy out, you both give the promoter $100, go to the front stretch and duke it out. I don't know, just something besides wrecking. And I get what Ty was saying. I get what you were saying with hurting him in the pocketbook, but at the same time, if you're going to hurt him in the pocketbook, are you going to be hurting yourself in the pocketbook?
Not if you do it right.
Okay. So,
I mean, yeah, I mean, you can. I mean, if you hurt him in the pocketbook, you could hurt yourself in the pocketbook, but if you do it right.
Yeah, you won't, which I get. And here's another, there is no video of it, but it was posted publicly online. Yeah, Eric, let's go Bang Bangers. Like Ty said, I wish they had it on Flow because I'd really like to see it because I had a chance at one time to race the Hornets there, but I never did. I'd actually like to get to see them race that track again because it's been so long. But
I raced my Hornet there one time.
Until you blew it up.
Blew motors, first night.
So, still on the safety issue. It was posted on public, so we can talk about it. It wasn't on a private person's Facebook page. But another incident happened, I believe, Friday night with Jake Montgomery. He was in staging, and someone's dad from another team crawled underneath his car while he was in staging. And just think how dangerous that can be. I mean, yeah, I get you want to see what he's running to see if he's legal or not, but leave that up to the track. Or do the bounty like some tracks do, and things and whatnot. There's the crew chief. There's the crew chief. So, don't get under cars unless you have permission. Don't wreck in the crowd of Pitts infield as it was shown there. It's just sportsmanship.
Well, my whole thing though is don't come over and try to look underneath my car. Like,
right?
Why are you looking underneath my?
Especially at staging, because they can get underneath in any given moment. They can be like, let the cars roll, and no one's seen the guy get underneath the car, and then that guy can get hurt. Because by that time that car rolls, there's another car right in front behind him, and don't see the guy because he's on the ground and run over.
My whole thing though too is don't come over and look at my car.
That too, yeah, I agree.
Like, if you want to see if I'm cheating, claim me.
Yeah,
there's a claim rule for a reason.
Do a claim. Yeah.
So if you want to, claim me after the race.
Right.
And, go ahead. I mean, see how that works out for you. I mean, you could have totally got hurt by climbing underneath another guy's car without telling anybody. And they would tell him, all right, it's time to roll out to the track. And like you said, he could have got hurt. So, I mean, it's just dumb people like that.
But anything else you say before we recap the races this weekend?
Join me and Wade at 4:00 for our last. Well, it'll be roughly around 4:00 for our last hockey. Last hockey show. Last hockey show of the year. We'll recap the Rivermen season, and we will talk a little bit about what we're hopefully to see for next season, and then of course I will recap basically what this show said a little bit, and that's pretty much all I got to say.
And then stay tuned to the Facebook page for different times for the racing show, since we're transitioning to that, because it might still be on Wednesday. We might do it Thursday. We just haven't decided yet. We're trying to figure out a good time, because we mainly did Wednesday because it was better for Wade and a little bit better for Ty. But now that racing season's happening, Ty is a little bit more open. I think, right? Correct?
Yeah, because like I said, I'm probably not racing this year, so it's easier for me on Saturdays to do it earlier. I mean, we could almost do it first thing in the morning to get it done and over with.
Right.
Or we can do it at this time, and then if we want to do a show during the week, I'm pretty much open most nights. So, like I said, if anything would change, then like I said, just look at our Facebook page.
So, with that said, again, this weekend, World of Outlaws at Marion Center Raceway, and I believe that was in Pennsylvania. It's a memorial race, 30,000 to win for the super lates.
And you can watch that on Dirt Vision.
That's on Dirt Vision. And on Flow, I would assume.
Yeah, it's on Flow. Lucas Oil's on Flow, so is
Lucas Oil Raceway, Eagle Raceway, and that is in Nebraska. And then the Mars race is in Southern Illinois. So those are the touring series that we like to cover.
And they will be on Flow, both of them.
And they will be on Flow as well. Ones that you have to go to, unless you know someone that's going to stream it from their phones, is the Falls Cup. That's going to be super good. I kid you not. I mean, all the times I've been there, I have not seen, with the exception of the Prairie Dirt from last year, I have not seen a bad race at Fairbury. Not one. Ty may have.
It wasn't a bad race last year at Prairie Dirt. It just, they can't. I don't want to say it was a bad race. It was just, you can't beat Mother Nature sometimes. So, I mean, it took forever, and it's not their fault.
Yeah, it wasn't their fault. It was the rain. But I just think it was bad because it seemed like the track was still greasy, and it wasn't, even though they tried their best, it was like it just seemed like, from what other drivers said, they didn't like it. It wasn't favored. It wasn't as good as it usually is.
Well,
and that's what I meant by that.
Yeah, and I mean, at that point, if I was Matt Curl, I'd tell the drivers, well, if you didn't like it, then pull off. Because, I mean, they did what they could. That's all I got to say about that.
Another night of racing, and they're having 7 classes because Peoria Speedway is canceled. And there's certain things, and just go to SpoonRiverSpeedway.com or go to their Facebook page to get more information on that, or rewatch our show. Either way. So with that said, I'm Big Ben. That's Ty. We thank you, and be back around 4 o'clock for the Riverman Hockey.
Yep. Have a good night.
Have a good night.